And just after the buzzer.
Oh, right on time.
Bring it in the rear.
Yeah. Oh.
That's where I like to be.
Yeah. There you go. You're always at the front. Well, I'm drinking tonight because I've been sick and feeling like crap. Oh, yes. We need the eyeball, Scott.
Well, you're not feeling well this week, so I'm not going to scare you any.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me tell you, this is one of those, it like wasn't awful. It wasn't like having the flu last year. Last year we got the flu and it was miserable. But it's just dragging on. It just will not clear up.
So whatever I got in Florida was like that. It was like a month of like, oh my God, just go away.
Say that. No.
Yeah.
Syphilis is pretty rough.
Oh, well, I got the shot.
Yeah. Once it starts dripping, it's okay.
Oh man.
Well, you'll see on it's funny is the editing of this week's vlog, you could see where I'm like, I'm not sick. I start getting sick, and then I'm clearly sick.
It's funny.
And you can just see it devolving. You're like, oh, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I feel like shit. So I'm still just totally clogged, but at least I'm functional and able to do stuff. But like, I still can't breathe at all through my nose. It's just completely worthless.
Dan, did you take any days off?
Friday of last week, I did mostly not work. I did work some. There's never such a thing. There's no such thing as me having 100% day off. It's not possible. But I did have. I slept in till 10 a.m. or so that day, which is the longest I've slept in a long time.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And I did some work and then I went back to sleep and slept until like 5 p.m. So, Greg's doing something secret.
Yeah. Super secret.
Super secret.
Secret.
Yes.
Things. And you got to take care of yourself, my friend.
Yep.
I know. Well, I mean, if you're taking it easy, you can still answer emails and you're not really working hard.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. God, people always give me shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what happens when you run your own business.
Right? Yeah.
I want to get done.
I want to hear from other people that own their own business. They're like, oh, yeah, totally take time off.
I have.
Yeah.
We just want you to stick around as long as you can, Dan. Don't wear yourself down.
I am taking Thursday and Friday off next week.
Ooh.
Very good. Aren't you going to? You're going on a trip soon too, right? To Japan?
That's not till May.
Okay.
It's coming up soon though.
That'll
Dude,
be here before you know it.
Yeah.
I check on my phone on my Delta app, and it tells you how many days until check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, it's getting closer.
Yep.
It keeps getting closer. So excited.
Yeah, that'll be
What
great.
are we at now? 75 days until check-in.
Yep. 1 month, 1 day for Germany. So
Ooh.
I feel you.
Heck yes. That is awesome. Josh is in Florida. He's over by your part of the country right now, Scott. He's in Orlando.
Yeah.
And was checking out a car today for a consultation client, and then he's flying up to Boston. Check out another car tomorrow.
Boston. If I'm not mistaken, it's pretty chilly up there. It's going to want to
Yeah.
stream next.
Not ideal time of the year to go to Boston. Probably a pretty good time of the year to be in Orlando, though. Although there's no such thing as a good time to be in Orlando.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No.
Did he still go to Jacksonville, or did that car fall through?
That fell through. Well, so there wasn't a car there. There was an auction there, and he was going to go to the auction.
Okay.
And then this other car came up, so he changed his flight to go to Boston instead of Jacksonville because it just there was absolutely zero Ferraris for sale in Jacksonville, which was like, okay, never mind. No point in going there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I might have bought the last one when I got mine from there.
Oh, that's right.
What is he looking at, Dan?
The one today was a 458, and tomorrow it is a Porsche GT4. I think it's a GT4 RS.
Ooh,
Ooh, even better.
Even better. So both consultation clients. So we like that. I mean, it's cool, Yeah. And it's been, dude, getting sick when it's like crazy busy is the worst because there's already a giant pile of shit that I got to do, and then I can't do some of the stuff I need to do, so the pile just gets bigger.
Yep.
And you see it getting bigger, and you're like, God, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make Josh work harder.
That's it.
Yeah, right. Whoosh, crack the whip.
I thought he didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, that's right. According to the internet. Wait, sorry.
He's really in
forgot.
Orlando on holiday.
Yeah, that's right.
He's hanging out with Disney or with Mickey right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I just keep him around so I can pay him to do nothing. Because that's what you do when you run a business. You're like, this guy doesn't do shit. I'm gonna pay him. Well, speaking of people that don't do shit, I actually am hiring 2 positions. So here, slight problem. The audience is distributed across the planet, and
Yep.
both positions are local only, not remote positions, unfortunately. So
Womp womp.
yeah, but we are. So I conducted an experiment, and I hired a firm. If you're savvy, you may have noticed that the last 2 vlogs, the editing style changed because I did not edit those videos. I hired a third-party company, and they edited the last 2 vlogs, just the vlogs. I still edited the Bentley video and some other stuff. I'm not in love with the quality of work that I'm getting at the price that they are and how much it takes from me to still get the content out. So I concluded I really need to hire an in-house part-time / full-time editor, film person, social media person, all that shit, right? So if you happen to be into cars and editing videos and filming videos and social media, and you'd like to come play with Ferraris, well, I hate to tell you, but you're not going to be driving them. But you can still be around them because our insurance won't let us.
Yeah,
But
so bring your own.
you can still take rides in Ferraris and stuff, and all that.
BYF.
Be right. Bring your own insurance. Like if you want to pay for your own insurance to drive our cars, sure. But I will not add you onto our insurance because it's just impossibly expensive.
Yep.
But
This
anyway,
is interesting though, because I was looking at the comments to see if anyone said anything, and
Me
they really
too.
didn't.
it didn't change much. I can see it very clearly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to do so those first 2 videos took 2 passes to get the video to where I wanted it. And that's the problem is like it has to be a 1 pass or it doesn't make sense because if I have to watch an hour and 15-minute video twice or 3 times, now I'm still spending 3+ hours versus, I mean, granted, that's a lot better than 8 to 12 hours or whatever I was spending before. But the goal is I should only have to watch the video once.
Yeah.
And say 1 or 2 changes and then be done, right? I want someone to learn the style I want and be able to reproduce the style I want and maybe have where they add their own flair. And I'm fine with that. Like I want some of that. But so it's
Did you try watching the videos in like 2 times speed to get through your skim faster? Or
I mean, you can, but
Yeah, some of the way they were doing those jump cuts though, you'd
that's
have
the
missed
problem.
it.
Like you could
Yeah.
easily miss jump cuts and things that I just and that was the funny thing is since I was watching it, could see that they actually had more than one person editing the video, and I could tell when it was someone else just by the style of their editing. Because one person was like cut happy. They were just like cut everything. And I was like, whoa, calm down. Like you are cutting way too much. And the other person didn't cut enough. So it's the other problem where it's like long pauses, lots of ums. And I'm like, okay, get rid of the ums and uhs. You get rid of the the likes, that stuff, get rid of the I say that way too much. So just get rid of the so's.
Yep.
As I talk, I'm just like, yeah, get rid of all that crap. Keep the middle, keep the good stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a pace you want to keep.
Yeah, yeah. Because it doesn't, that stuff does not add to the video. It just slows it down and makes it so someone's more likely to click away. So get rid of it. More cuts as I talk, more cuts. See, this is the stuff I would cut if I wasn't live.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, if I'm gonna hire someone, I want them to be able to potentially film and take pictures and do social media and take on a lot of the stuff that we do. Because the goal is ultimately, I don't want to do as much of that as I have done, because it does take up a lot of my time. So that is one position we're hiring for. The other position we're hiring for is going to be also challenging to find. We need an office admin. So we want someone to help with producing the paperwork for these cars, for the deals, for the buying and selling of the cars. I want someone to help with inventory management. I want someone to help with potentially, order fulfillment from our website. Depending what they're capable of doing, answering emails and phone calls. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we would like someone to take on. So that position, some of it, like it could be part remote. Actually, both of them can be part-time remote, but we do need them to be in person sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting cars on the website, absolutely. Putting cars on the website.
Yep.
Like, people have no idea how much time that literally takes. It is so time consuming to put a car on a website. That's why I was like, it's not on the website yet. I'm like, yeah, because we haven't had 4 spare hours to do the car ad yet. So hold on. It will
Vibe
be
code
up
it,
there.
Dan. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you've got me, Josh, Randy, and Rachel, who's part-time, and that's it.
Yep.
Running the whole thing.
Is the office admin full time or part time?
That would be a full-time position, 100% full-time. We absolutely could use a full-time person for that.
In addition to Rachel.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we would have to see if there's overlap, and can we streamline what Rachel does, maybe to have her be more effective. That's the right order of words I want to do. Thank you, Cold. That's definitely not Fiverr jobs. That's the problem, right? We do want to outsource stuff when we can, but
Yeah.
Well, I'll mention it to someone. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're looking for those jobs. I'm gonna create like job listings and probably post them for reels on like Indeed or whatever at some point in the next few days, because we need it bad.
Yep.
It's a slog. It's a slog to hire.
Oh, dude.
It sucks so bad. I'm going through it now with my team, and you keep telling yourself front load the work now, and it'll make everything easier on the end when they're trained up and rolling. But man, it sucks right now.
Yep.
And then resumes, good luck. But I'm proud that you're there. The company is there.
It's cool to be there, but it's like, oh Lord, like, yeah, I've hired so many people over the years in software, and it's always one of the most difficult parts of trying to run a team, because no offense to anyone watching this, but most people suck.
It's true.
Like, when you're hiring, dude, you're just like, oh God, this person's awful. Like, because there's just so much to consider,
Yeah. That's why I had to do 6 hours of interviews for my current job. Like, sucked.
Yeah. Interviews,
people out.
qualifications. Do you get along with them? I mean, we're a 4-person company. If you don't get along with us, you're not getting hired.
Yeah.
It's like simple as that. I can't have someone that I hate sitting next to me doing work for me.
Yeah, it's definitely pay them 50% for their skill set and 50% if they're one of us. If they're one of the team, if they can be, you can go have a beer with them. It's very important.
When it's this small, it absolutely is. When you have a team of 20 people, okay, there could be people in there that I don't really care about, but they get the shit done, and I'm fine with that, right? But if I have to be around your face all day long, most days of the week, and I'm seeing you literally more than I see my wife, you've got to get along with me.
That's a good point.
You know, like I see Josh a lot more than I see my wife.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Josh.
That's what I meant.
So, okay, well, there, I got my business stuff out of the way. In some ways, personality is almost more important. And honestly, that's the thing is, people who are really motivated to figure shit out. I personally, when I've hired people, I will hire someone who's maybe not as qualified if they're motivated correctly, because that person's gonna fix shit and get shit done. And maybe they don't know how to do this right now, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
And that's
they
the
need to
person
take
you want.
initiative and run.
Yeah, because like someone who's really technically skilled and they're like, I know exactly what I'm doing, but it's like maybe they don't necessarily want to do whatever, it's like that's harder. That's a harder thing to figure out rather than someone who can just do stuff, make shit happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Cap it off with the two positions again.
2 positions. So social media person. So video editing is the top priority. Filming would be a second high priority, and then creating content for other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, that stuff. So, but video editing is the top thing. If someone's like, I can't do any of the other shit, but I can edit videos, and their price is right, and they're willing to work within the constraints I want, I would probably consider that person. But note that we have a very challenging demand for our schedule because we produce a weekly vlog. And that's one of the hardest things I've had trying to find this position is you've got 3 days. That is it. And that's generous.
An hour-long feature, basically.
Hour-long video every single week. And there's no compromise. You must make it happen before Saturday morning.
Yep.
That's what I've been doing. So you can do it too. There's no reason that someone cannot do this because I've been doing it on top of all the other shit I've been doing. And that means I've been staying up till 1 and 2 a.m. many Friday nights.
Yep.
If someone's like, I can't do that because I don't want to stay up that late, well then fuck you. You're the wrong person. Do not apply.
All right, job 2.
Job 2.
Now that you've thoroughly scared away everybody who
Good. You know what? If they're gonna be a pansy and that's like, oh my god, that sounds awful. It's like that's not the person I want.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, too bad. Second job, a little bit easier to tolerate. Office admin, doing paperwork for all the deals. So buying and selling cars, submitting paperwork to the DMV and tax office and all that shit. Inventory management, order fulfillment, emails, phone calls. So you can't be just like we're not hiring like the front office pretty face who literally doesn't know anything. Like this person's actually got to have some skill. So you can't be a dumbass. This is not like, oh, hi, I look pretty. Let me send you to the right person. No.
Is that job available?
Can it be?
I am HR. Someone's like, get HR on the phone. I am the head of HR. If you don't like my company, don't work for us. It's very simple. Look, people, maybe that bothers people that I have a high standard, but you know what? That's the way I operate. If you can't do it, don't participate.
Yep.
I've run my companies and all my teams that way for a long time. I have very high standards. We get a lot of shit done, but we also have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So pay, we can figure it out.
Negotiable.
It's totally negotiable. If someone's got a lot of experience and they're going to kick some ass and really make a difference to the company, I will pay you more. If you're like
smoked meats from Tyler every Wednesday.
Don't. Yeah, that's pretty
every
awesome.
Wednesday. I'll guarantee it at least twice a year.
There you go.
Stock
back that up.
purchase plan, benefits, anything else?
We don't have benefits yet, other than you get to hang around us and be some cool. Actually, that's not. We have non-cool benefits. We don't have a healthcare plan because we're too small. It's too expensive. We'll probably get that some point. But like we take everyone out to lunch regularly, fairly frequently. We do cool shit. We go to events. Like Randy just came on board, and we're sending Randy to the tour of the Tail of the Dragon. The company's paying for that.
Nice.
So that's, especially if you're filming, if you sign up as not just editing, but you're also filming, that means a lot of the shit I do, you're going to do. So I'm going to bring you on some trips to wherever the fuck I'm going, or doing some car event or whatever, because I want that filmed. So,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you know what? There is probably a bit of that. And if pay is the only thing that matters, and someone's like, I'm not going to take it because it's not making me a millionaire, well, you probably barked up the wrong tree. This is startup world. This is not, we have tons of cash laying around where I can just throw it at you. I'm not angry, Hugh.
The real question, though, does it come with the company? If you put a new transmission in it, it's yours.
Right.
If we put a new transmission in it, you could probably convince me to let you keep it if you want.
After the run.
Yeah.
After, yes.
You might have to pick it up in Sedona.
Actually, you would have to drive it. You got to drive it back from California.
Dan's be the first one to sell his car. $1.
Ooh. I mean, that could be negotiated in. That's a reasonable negotiation point. If you really kick some ass, maybe we'll buy you a Bentley at the end of the year. It'll probably be like the one we have.
So that's basically equivalent to what I'm looking for in my job. Now there's no difference. If I get a Bentley at the end of the year, that's basically what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right.
It comes with a boo. I'm in.
Oh, love
man.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it is very much a work hard, play hard environment. We really do work our asses off, but we also have a really good time, and it's enjoyable. It's fun. There's not too many other jobs on earth where you get to play with supercars all day long. So keep that in mind. And as far as the pay, I don't get paid like you would expect. So I don't expect other people to get paid like you might think. That's not to say that we're not going to try and pay you well. And one of our goals is we're going to start this year doing like a profit share at the end of each quarter. So we're going to compute out, hey, how did we do? And if we really are kicking ass, I am totally cool with everyone getting a bunch of money. So that's what we want. We want to be able to say, hey, the company did super awesome. We got a giant pile of money. Let's distribute it across a lot of us, because that sounds great. Like, that sounds amazing. I would love that. I would love nothing more than to hand everyone a giant pile of money at the end of each quarter because we did so well. Because that means I'm doing well. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
If I'm doing well, you can do well too. That sounds great. Absolutely wonderful. So, and I think we're finally, like, this is the thing, is we're in the throes of transitioning from bootstrapped, oh my God, are we going to be able to ever survive, to, okay, we're making it. Now let's grow. So I have a very aggressive growth plan that I am in the middle of doing. That's one of the things I've been working on that I don't talk about in the videos, is I am producing a detailed plan of how I'm going to grow this company and hopefully someday be able to retire.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
When's your next board meeting?
Board meeting next one's late March, I think, right?
Something like that. I don't
Something
remember.
like that. I think it's late March. But beyond so I've been having the board meetings have been tremendous and super motivating. Let me tell you, if you own your own company and you want to light a fire under your ass, create a board of directors. Seriously, it is because it's so weird when you run your own company, you're only beholden to yourself, right? When it's your company, I don't have to answer to anyone. I could just run the company into the ground if I wanted to. It'd be awful and I'd be bankrupt, but I could. But I also could like do lots of crazy stuff well. And when you have other people and you pull down your pants and you're like, take a look, here's everything that the company's doing. They go,
does this look infected to you?
what the hell is that? Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, you need to see a doctor about that one. You're like, oh, yeah, about that one. Let me explain that one. They're like, don't want the details. Just don't. Nope. But yeah, seriously, having other people get exposed to it. And the thing is, this is the one thing I've always found about that sort of stuff is having third parties ask you the questions that you're not thinking, because that's the stuff that you get blindsided by, because you cannot step out of your own skin and look at it from another person's perspective with totally different lived experiences. So when you have someone else do that and they say, hey, I've run into a situation that's similar to this, and this is going to cause a problem for you. And you're like, oh, I literally did not think of that, because I've not had anything in my life happen that could have led me to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been super, super helpful. And then the secondary thing is, besides that, the original investor in the company, who is a very successful, super impressive person, he was like, hey, I want to give you an hour of my time once a week and help you grow this company. And that was, it's a true blessing. Like, wow, man, that's huge. Thank you. Because an hour of his time is worth a shitload of energy and money and whatever. Like, you could not pay someone to give you as good advice and experience as this person has. So every week I've been meeting with him. I meet with him on Thursdays. So that's part of why this is all in my brain, right? This only happened a few hours ago. And so I met with him, and he just riles me up and makes me really get fired up to do the right stuff. And again, he asks you the questions that you like, it stops you dead in your tracks. Like, you think you've got something figured out, and then he just goes, well, what about this? And you're just like, oh,
yeah.
Oh shit. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, about that. I had not thought about that at all. And it just completely changes everything. You go, well, I got to rethink everything now because of this one simple question. Truly, it's impressive. I cannot say this enough. If you are running your own business, or even if you're not, even if you're just in your career, having a mentor like that, having someone who's lived other experiences that can offer similar, like advice and ask you these questions, it's so powerful. That's the thing. I think I lost track of. I got so in the weeds of just trying to get the company to survive that I have not had any time to think remotely about this sort of stuff. And so finally, I feel like I'm getting my head above water, and I've been able to take like a couple breaths, and that's repositioning how I look at everything. So I'm super excited about all this. Like, I am as excited today when I go to the shop as I was just like thinking about doing all this stuff years ago, where it's just like, oh my God, like this is gonna be awesome. Like that's how it starts, right? You're like, let's start our own company. This will be great. And then the reality of that, like just poof, poof, poof. You're like, oh, this sucks. And then finally we're like, we've gotten past being punched in the face 800 times.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of cool again. There you go.
Yeah. It's a
It's a
fair
good place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem fired up. I was worried how, with you being sick, how you were going to be today. You seem
I mean, that's the crazy part, right? I'm sick as shit, and I still feel like this animated. I'm that revved up. It has been so profound in my mind that I've been getting up at 5 a.m. after only like a few hours of sleep, multiple days in a row in the last few weeks, just because there's so much going on in my brain about everything, and I'm so excited. Like, I wouldn't, I've been getting up early and just like trying to do stuff because I'm like, man, I just want to get some of this shit done and work on it while it's here, before but that's the other problem is I'm like, there's this pile of crap that is necessary to just keep the doors open, and I can't, just not do that. And then there's this huge pile of crap. It's like, this is the stuff I need to do to grow the company, which I'm going to argue is in some ways more important, but it doesn't directly pay the bills right now. So I have to do this.
Yep.
And so I need to take some of this and piece it out and say, this other person can do this and this and this. And I need to start delegating so I can have time to do the other stuff.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, we're already bursting at the seams. That is already a problem. We have 2 plans in place that we're going to proactively work towards. One of them this year, one of them probably next year. So we will be growing the property shortly. We have to, because we're we're out of space.
Yep. This is an interesting question.
That is I just saw that. It's a really great question.
Yep.
The board, I think this is something that if you're trying to create a group of people that are going to have an impact on your work life, whether it's a board or just mentors or whatever, you don't want everyone to be the same. You want strong diversity in backgrounds and opinions. So I kind of looked at, unfortunately, it's like you got to pick from your friends, right? Because I can't just like open it up to the public and be like, hey, who wants to be a board member? This person I've never met before. But you have to be very careful in choosing friends who are going to be blunt and honest and not pull punches. So they got to be good enough that they're friends that are willing to tell you that you're ugly, like literally be like, this is ugly. So I wanted to have diversity in backgrounds. I've got people who have, run their own businesses from scratch. I've got people who haven't ever run their own business, but they have completely different business skills that I don't have, that I'm completely lacking. So they can present stuff from a totally different perspective. And the hard part was finding the right balance for the number of people, because I think you can get too many people and that's like lead by committee.
Yeah.
But you need enough people to have that diversity. So like somewhere between I would say 4 and 8 people max is kind of the balance that I was kind of targeting. And then so far it's been really awesome because, again, you get really diverse opinions and thoughts coming out of people that have all these different backgrounds. But ultimately, yeah, it's got to be from people I don't have if I didn't know these people, I don't know how I would have found a good board. And as far as the investor getting his time, that's just sheer luck through my career path that he got involved with the company and I used to work for him. So I like that question. What excites you about growing the company? I'm excited that we can do better.
Mm-hmm.
I am a big believer in learning and improving oneself all the time. And I'm proud to say now we're doing a better job than we ever have before. But I look at it we could still do better yet. And I want to keep improving and keep evolving so that we not just it's not just oh, I want to make more money. It's no, I want to provide our customers with a better and better experience. My goal is so that when people interact with us and they buy stuff from us or have us help them buy a car or whatever, that they leave that experience thinking that was really great. Like that was great. I want to do that again, and I want to tell my friends about it. Like that's the kind of stuff I think really like establishes you as a net positive. Like this isn't just like, oh, give me your money and we'll sell you a car. Like anyone can do that.
Yep.
I want it to be like, you buy a car from me, we're really trying our best to make sure that you get exactly what you thought you're getting at the price that you think is fair, and you're treated with respect, and the experience is positive so that you walk away and say, yeah, that was great. And now I got this cool, awesome car, and we're going to do cool shit, and I'm going to like it. And hopefully when you're done with it, you say, I'm going to trade it in with you and do another one.
Yep. Well, and it's about efficiencies too. Like some of those conversations have been around, you're the owner and president. Let's have your time going to important things versus editing.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Multipass. Multipass. If it's a Lilu onesie, I'm in.
Yeah, there was talks of more dudes washing cars in bikinis.
Oh God, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Lilu is pretty cool, Speaking of, Steven just picked up his car today.
Ah, sweet! Congrats.
Congratulations.
And I have a surprise for you, Steven. I'll send it to you tomorrow. So it's good. Not a bad thing. I hope you're enjoying your car, because you got lucky. They kept all week. They're like, oh my God, it's gonna be rainy and crappy and awful. And then today was like, it drizzled a little bit in the morning, and then it just stopped. Yep. And it was nice all day long. So super awesome.
What do you get?
430 Spider.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Dude,
Steve,
when I was sorry?
I say, is Steve taking it to the Dragon with us to celebrate his purchase?
I tried to convince him to drive it to the Dragon. I was like, you need to go to the Dragon. And
yes, you do.
I get it, time and whatever. But he is driving it all the way back to Florida.
Nice.
That's badass. Anyone who comes and picks up their car from us and drives it halfway across the country home, you get bonus points for that. We should have like a special like gift bag for people that do that. Like, like the hero bag. It's like, oh yeah, you're a badass. That's it, the badass bag.
Yeah.
I like that. We'll think of something. Can you discuss the plans / COA for the stub growth? The immediate thing we've decided is, so we have a building already in the front of the property that's kind of worthless. It's just like storage. And our thinking is to enclose the front lean-to on that building and make it so that we can store cars in that building. So we'll have to air condition it and insulate it and stuff and put a garage door on the front. But we could probably do that and put 4-post lifts in there, which would allow us to store up to 8 cars. So that would expand our dealership footprint by a massive amount and allow those moments when we get cars that were like, oh shit, this car is going to be here for a month doing nothing but take up space. Okay, let's put it in the front building. That sort of stuff. So that's the first immediate thing that we're going to do, because that doesn't require, we think we can do that for like $100,000. The second plan would be, let's build another building to the right of that building that's more like a 5,000 to 6,000 square foot metal building like what we already have, purely for storing cars for the dealership. And so that one's not as like we don't have the emergency to need that much more space, but we do have an immediate, like if we could get 8 more cars, that's gonna hold us over for a while,
The foundation footprint on that smaller building is already big enough to where it'll hold that many.
I got to do some more measurements, but I believe so. It might be a little bit tight, and we might have to expand it just a little. But I think it's entirely possible. So,
does that mean I have to like get my Alfa Romeo exhaust?
It might be on the free section of Facebook Marketplace if you don't.
Right?
That rent bill's gonna be big, Greg.
Yeah, right.
Dan's got a new foundation to pour.
No, it's-
I got some-
I'm sure
I
it's
got
full of scorpions and spiders at this point.
oh,
So
definitely, 100%.
You can use it as rebar in the foundation. You know, push it down in the concrete.
We'll just put it in the foundation as part of the building,
It'll be there when you need it.
right?
yeah,
Right.
so Tyler, I'm gonna have to use your defender.
I don't know if it'll fit in there.
Yeah, if you need to, we could always like use my truck or something. We just
Yeah.
need to.
Oh, actually, this might work, Greg, because I need to drop the Ferrari off to get the exhaust put on. So,
Oh yeah, which you're gonna have to bring the exhaust too.
yeah. But if Greg follows me in the Defender, then he can give me a ride home.
But
There you
I
go.
also have to drop my Ferrari off. So
Mm.
Too many jobs coming up. We're gonna have to have like people of Austin week where we just work on Austin-based cars.
Shuffling cars around between each
Yeah.
other.
The locals create like a carpool thing going on.
you gotta work it out.
Are 360s and 430s kind of like the entry level Ferrari nowadays? I mean, I don't know if you define it. There's no real entry level. It's what is your budget, right? I would say they are more affordable because it's still six figures, but they're in that price point that I think more people can afford, which I think is kind of the definition of like entry level. So California, you can easily find under $100,000, yes, but there's becoming less and less what I'm going to call like good Ferraris under $100,000. And it's becoming harder and harder to have happen. And the reason I kind of make that like the price point is like people are buying brand new SUVs and F-350s that are $100,000. So, granted, it's not the same thing, but yeah, more people can afford a 360 or 430 than, a Speciale.
No. What are you talking about?
It's just the hood.
It's just the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good question. How has the Speciale been?
It's been good. Probably done like 500 miles on it.
Nice.
So it's solid. It's still got the one little issue we gotta get worked out, I think. Although we need to put it on the computer,
Mm.
see if it's still throwing the code or whatever. But it's never actually caused a problem or a check engine light. So I think it just
Right.
sticks open, so it's fine. But obviously not perfect. And I want it to be more perfecty.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great car. The chassis is amazing. Really needs the exhaust though to kind of get the whole experience. Because
Yeah.
it's funny. I was thinking about it. And the whole idea is like, oh, the Speciale versus Pista, and some of the comments like, oh, the Speciale doesn't really sound like too much compared to the Pista. If you really like drive them like back to back, and it's like, well, stock, I can kind of see that. Like the tone of the Speciale stock versus the Pista stock, it's a little louder, but it's not a huge difference. But once you put the exhaust on it, that's really accentuates.
Oh, yeah. Not even the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Greg, have you had enough wheel time to, like, do you feel like the money, the value gained aside, like, do you feel that it was good trade up, getting rid of the STO and getting this car? Are you able to be at the point where you're completely happy having done that?
I'm definitely happy, but I think that's just because I really tend to be more kind of Ferrari guy, and this was always the dream to have the two of them together. And I check Auto Trader every day for my stock, to monitor
Your stock price.
my stock prices, and it's just one of those things where it was the right opportunity, and I really don't know if there's going to be another one as cheap.
Yeah, right.
So I definitely stretched way more than I ever have for a car. But, come around this time next year, it should be okay. And, the only downside is if I get frustrated at my job, it's a little harder to leave right now. So, it's what it is. But otherwise, the car's phenomenal. It's definitely less raw than the Scud.
Mhm.
But the thing that's really kind of hard to explain to people is it's really about the chassis. The chassis on the car is just like butter, and it just makes everything perfect. The balance is incredible. So
Define what you mean by stretching, Greg. I know what you mean, but
you kind of always have a mental threshold of how much debt you're willing to take on for things. And so this definitely pushed my threshold more than I would have preferred. But it's I made the decision of either the whole world's going to go to hell and everything I have will be valueless, or the cars will probably hold their value fine, so it doesn't matter. And I think that's generally true.
Yeah,
that's the best segment to the show title I've ever had.
Exactly, right? There you go. That is a perfect explanation of will the current Ferrari values hold?
I feel like you will be fine, Greg.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, I would say in the longer vision, 100% probability. If like there was a catastrophe in the economy in the next year or two or whatever, and you for some reason had to dump the car, you could lose your ass on it. Because there's an entire possibility that nothing goes linear straight up, right? It is ups and downs and ups and downs. And if you caught one of those troughs, you could get screwed. Because I mean, just since I've been in the market for these cars since starting this YouTube channel, so only a decade, I've seen 458s go up and down twice. So in 10 years, they've had two massive dips, but generally have gone up.
Yeah.
And so that's just the market as a whole for these cars. And that's really the big thing about buying the right cars. So if you look at like the Ferrari market as a whole, there's certain models that are just beloved. And there's certain models that you look at what have prices done over the past decade or two in the Ferrari world, and you look at what they're doing now as far as producing new cars, and there's clearly a reaction to the new stuff coming out, and a lot of people saying, I don't like that. I like this older stuff. Therefore, I'm going to buy or hold if I already have it. And that mentality is causing it to where the availability, like if you take all the Ferraris made from 2000 until 2015, it's this big. And let's say of people looking at the market, they say half of them are like, yeah, I don't give a shit about anything newer, so I'm not going to sell it. And then a lot of them are go, well, I just don't want to sell it because I like it. And then you got people who are like, whatever. And you start whittling it down, and there's just this tiny sliver of those cars left that actually transact. And that's why it's forcing everything to go nuts right now, because everyone's saying, I don't see a reason to sell it. I like it too much. There's nothing else that I can buy that would replace it. That's part of been the whole mentality of Ferrari for the last 20 years has been, you buy the car, you hold it for a couple of years, and then you buy the next one because it's cool. And you get the next one because it comes out and it's even better. And the next one comes out and it's even better. And the next one comes out and you're like, oh, it's hybrid. I don't like that. And so it stopped that in its tracks.
It's got gas particulate filters and you can't put an exhaust on it. Ew. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of stops a lot of the traditional stuff that's been going on in the market. And I think there's a substantial number of people who still want those things about those cars.
Yeah. I think there's also a lot of things, if you take a long enough view, inflation and other things that make, real estate cheap also apply to the cars too.
Yes.
It's like, you could definitely say that a lot of the price, even if Ferrari does come out with another naturally aspirated V8 car, there's no way they're going to be pricing it. They're probably going to make it some crazy Icona car. Who knows? Yeah. If they don't, and they even just price it like a regular 296, a regular 296 now is like, $400, 400,000, probably like fully spec'd, if not higher. Right. So whatever comes out after is definitely going to be more money than that.
Yep.
So it's, you're really kind of competing with, very little in the marketplace, and there's nothing else to go, and so what else are you going to use the money on?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
And I know to the Scud right now, as I track the market or whatever, there's now 2 Scud coupes for sale listed.
That's it.
Like $690 is their asking price.
Wow.
You know, I don't think they'll sell for that. I don't think they'll.
By
work
the
that
way,
out, but
I'm aware of an off-market Scud, 16,000 miles, black on black, and the seller has asked me to just petition and see if anyone wants it, and he's willing to sell it as probably the cheapest Scud in the country by, I'm going to say $100,000 right now.
It's $500,000.
Yeah, like it's over $500,000, but it's not 600,000.
Nice.
So
Hold on, I'm still looking for that paycheck.
So if you want a Scud and you don't want to pay over $600,000, I have one for you.
There you go.
Clean title. I don't know how many owners, but it's not crazy, and it's been well taken care of, and it's pretty much just kind of been sitting. The guy bought it back when they were cheap because he just knew. He's like, this is going to be worth a shitload, and so they bought it and just kind of put it in the corner and just sat on it.
Smart.
Yeah.
But
He told me
that
how
poor
much
car.
he told me how much he paid for it. I'm like, dude, you suck. I'm like, oh my God.
there was a brief time there, like 160,
Mhm.
170. You know,
Oh, you could get them well under 200 for a little while. Very short while. Yeah. That's the crazy part. $500K for a Scud is not,
Yeah, that's cheap today.
that's cheap today.
Oof.
So stupid.
They skyrocketed in the last 6 months.
So anyway, if you happen to want one, like I said, 16,000 miles, black on black. It is actually got a really rare option. What was it? It was so, I can't remember. Something about the seats were like the seats are that mesh stuff, as opposed to Alcantara, I think was what it was.
The 3D tech fabric or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the tech fabric or whatever, which is very rare on the Scud.
you know who's also got that?
You got it?
Yeah,
Nice. Good.
Factory option mesh stuff.
and it's got Alcantara too. I got all the fabrics.
Nice.
Oh, we're way past COVID pricing you.
No, this is yeah.
I think that everyone always wants to point back to COVID, but I think there's definitely a difference to COVID, right? We've had another 6 years of nothing else competing in the marketplace to the cars. So COVID was, you still had some of the newer turbo cars coming out, right? I think you're looking at a little bit of a different tailwind.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it was a perfect storm too.
Yeah.
Right. You've got like the manufacturers were producing a bunch of cars that people were less and less excited about at the same time that everyone's stuck at home and they're like, well, I kind of want to get a fun car because I might as well have something I can go drive a car around and not get, killed with COVID. So that's cool. And so I'm willing to spend more on this thing. So tangible assets became more valuable during COVID, period, across the board. But you combine that with that, I think that was kind of the real mental shift everyone had of like, oh yeah, these cars aren't being made anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they are shifting, and I don't like where it's going.
Yeah, I feel like they're just looking at it in a broad stroke. I feel like cars have, particularly in Ferrari and other exotic car manufacturers, they've peaked.
Yeah.
You don't need more than 1,000 horsepower. You can't do anything with it. Tire technology peaked. There's hybrid systems were perfected in Formula One. There's no more revelations there. No one wants them anyway. But so like they've peaked, and now everything that comes out is just going to be levels of different, not unique or not over the top unique. And so yes, no one's selling the more engaging, realistic Ferraris. Period. But I also think that they'll probably come out with a manual again at some point too.
Definitely.
Because of what I just said, like the pendulum's going to swing back for sure. It would just make good business sense to do that.
Yeah. I think they will, but it'll be a special car, crazy expensive, not for the masses.
the margins is too attractive to do that.
Yeah.
You know, even if they took like the 911R approach and they came out with an Icona car to fund the development of the transmission for something else, right? You're talking like another, 4 to 6 years down the road of when all this can happen. And, the price of the car is new. It's going to be extraordinary by then. But there's no way they're going to turn down selling a car at like 150% margin because they put a manual gearbox in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Although they've got a lot of money to pay off in that EV plant. So
I mean, the fact that they're doubling down on it is
I
like,
know.
ooh, man, like
everyone else is killing their EV programs and they're doubling down. Like,
I know when they said that, I was just like, dude, you guys are dumb. Like it's
Yep.
gonna. But at the same time, you know what? They will find people to buy those cars.
oh yeah,
I mean, they could shit in a box and put a Cavallino on it, and someone will buy it for $100,000.
look at the Mondial.
The Iternia.
I just can't imagine they would have built the factory with no contingency plan. I'm sure it's just ballroom space that if they had to convert it to make something else, I bet they could.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they could do that.
So obviously it's not ideal, but the company's grown so much they probably need the space anyway, whether they're making EVs or whatever else. But
Could be just pure arrogance.
I mean,
possible.
Well,
They're just going to plow through. Doesn't matter what the market is saying right now. They'll create something that'll be attractive to somebody, and they're just going to do it.
yeah. And if they're building batteries and stuff, they can sell them to other people. They don't have to put them in their own cars. So
I guess.
they can diversify their product line,
Well, they could always spin off and sell that part of the company.
Yeah, that too.
And
Take
they'll
the
just
sign
be
off
like-
the wall and
and they'll just take a huge haircut on that and write it off on the business side, and like whatever CEO is at that time will get a big bonus because the Wall Street people will be like, good job, you saved Ferrari and axed this division.
Yep.
That was the worst thing that ever happened to Ferrari is the IPO.
going public.
That was the death of Ferrari.
Yeah, the
So-
public sucks.
It does. See, this is why you can't, going back to what I said earlier, you can't design by committee. This is Hi. So, inventory was asked. What do we have? So, got the Audi RS6 Avant on consignment. We've got Richard's old Testarossa, 1990 Testarossa on consignment. We've got the 550 Maranello on consignment.
Yeah, that thing's
So
cool.
cool.
I love that car.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan. We have two Ferrari F430 Spiders that are both higher mile. One has like 56 or 57,000 miles. One has 61,000 miles. Both need a clutch. The 57,000 mile car needs a lot of work. So if someone wants to buy it as is, we're willing to negotiate on that. The other car, the 61,000 mile, has actually been maintained pretty darn good. Looks fantastic. Like it looks like a 25,000 mile car. Like the cosmetics on it are really, really good. And as far as I'm aware, it's been maintained pretty well. So it's, in good shape. We bought a 430 coupe that's not at the shop yet. It's being picked up on Monday. That's the one I went and looked at in California. That should be in late next week. Trying to remember the stats on it. I want to say it's like 30 something thousand miles. It's red with black interior, really cool spec. It's got red piping on the black seats. It looks sick. Got a pretty good amount of carbon fiber. That one's going to sell extraordinarily fast. It's one of those where I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, like this is the spec I would keep.
Nice.
And if I remember right, it needed a few small things, all pretty minor, nothing like a clutch or anything. So what are we at? We're at 6. Still got the coaster bus. Still got the BMW.
Bentley.
We've got the Bentley. We'd have the Bentley. There you go. We have a Bentley. Yeah, I'm trying to think if that is it for inventory. I think so. I believe so. And we're working on quite a few conversion cars. So the conversion queue is building. So if you're wanting to get a conversion, and you don't want it to be like 2 months from now, get in touch with us sooner rather than later, because the queue is extending. It's pushing further and further out. Same with service work. If you want us to do any service work, like if you're like, oh, I need a major on my 360 or something like that, get in touch with us soon, because otherwise you're going to be having us doing it during the middle of your driving season. You're going to be pissed off. So, yeah.
What's the
There you
status on all those conversion parts you're waiting on?
Currently, it's a couple weeks to get each kit. It's slowing a little bit because we've basically bought all the kits.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah, we keep buying more and more kits. We're trying. So we actually have a plan to try and like build up an inventory of shit that we use all the time, so that we're not in this constant wait for parts. Not just conversion kits, but also like just regular parts, because we've had that bite us in the ass quite a bit lately, where some O-ring, like literally a stupid $3.50 O-ring, we ran out of stock. Like we usually keep it in stock, and we ran out, and I order it, and it took 2.5 weeks. It's like, God dang it. And you literally could not put the transmission back on the engine without that O-ring. It's like, stupid. That's
Dan,
some crap.
As an honorary board member, I'm going to give you my advice, and you should just buy a Makina.
Oh,
Just buy the company.
The whole company. I'll just write them a check.
Add that, absorb them, so you don't have any problems. Get the corner of the market.
That just gives you more problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, that's kind of where we're at as far as that. We're trying to get ahead of the inventory game. Just spent a bunch of money on drawers today. Literally just drawers to house all of those parts. You wouldn't believe how expensive heavy duty drawers are, because when you're putting a shit ton of bolts and auto parts in drawers, the weight it needs to hold is really high. Like each drawer has to hold like 200 pounds or so. And so you can't just go buy like some shitty, Home Depot, whatever special. And God, they're expensive.
You need one of those boltsandnuts.com displays.
I know, right?
Sponsor it.
I wish they would. The problem is there's so many specialized.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You'd only need like this little bit for regular nuts and bolts.
Well, so I've gotten really good at like taking the Ferrari bolts and looking up on various websites that make bolts and stuff, and just getting the exact spec bolt that they make. So I don't order it straight from Ferrari. I order it straight from one of the manufacturers, and I can the clutch bolts on a Ferrari F430. There's 9 of them, and Ferrari sells them for like $20 each for a stupid little Allen bolt.
Yep. What
It's
are they on
not even
McMaster
like-
car?
These aren't like high tensile, like grade whatever bolts. It's like, and they're single use because they're torque to yield or whatever it's called. So you can't reuse the damn things. And so I finally found them, the exact spec somewhere else, and they're like $1.50. And I'm like, 1,000. So
Nice.
I bought 1,000 of them. I was like, fuck you.
Hell yeah.
And it literally cost me less to do that than it did to do like 2 clutch jobs. I was like, this
Jeez.
is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So, man,
Love it.
yeah. There's been a few that I can't find anywhere because they're too wonky. You know, they those bolts on the Ferrari California that were holding down the engine panels, I could not find anywhere. It was too weird of a diameter. Like the thread pitch was totally normal, but the diameter of the head on the bolt, I just could not find anywhere. Very weird.
Now you need a metal 3D printer and a scanner so you can just make
Some bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. That would be cool.
make some Inconel bolts.
Oh man.
3D print exhausts. Hell yeah.
Can they print Inconel?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
that's what all the stuff with Zinger is so impressive.
Yep.
You know,
that's awesome.
The
I mean,
entire
there's, like,
car.
there's
basically.
suppressors that are printed Inconel too.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, with Zinger, it's not even so much just like if you think about like the whole car, it's like when you actually look at the A arms, the suspension components, and the way that it's made and the shapes that they are so weird.
It's crazy stuff. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
of course-
I remember seeing that, but I didn't realize they use an Inconel.
I don't know if it's specifically Inconel for everything, but I think you have different materials.
Yeah,
It's some alloy that they're printing for the Zinger for sure.
yeah. I mean, like, why would you use Inconel for the control arms and stuff? There's no point. But that's cool shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, technology is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Definitely wouldn't mind having one of those to play with, but
That was when I was in Daytona for work. They were showing us like all the race teams have 3D metal printers on the trucks now. When ship breaks, they're just print.
that makes sense, right?
Get a new part overnight, put it on the car, away you go.
It totally makes sense.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was looking at Uline and Global and all those, and they were just so astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
I was actually the funniest thing is I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to order, and I finally decided, okay, this is the part, like the setup I want to order. And I just happened to stumble on this other website that was selling the exact same unit, but it had a different SKU. But I mean, the SKU was like mostly the same numbers, but it was not like they had a different pattern to their SKU. But I mean, you look at it and it was identical. Like the pictures were identical. Everything was identical, but it was $2,000 cheaper. The only difference was they only had a 1-year warranty instead of a lifetime warranty.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Timu.
Yeah.
basically, but it wasn't in China or whatever. It was still in the US. It was still a US company, but I'm like, I'm gonna take that risk.
Yeah.
I mean, for $2,000,
For a warranty you'll hopefully never need. Like
right? And I was like, it's rated, like the cabinets are rated for 200 pounds each drawer. I'm like, that's pretty much more than we'll ever put in those drawers. So, yeah, we'll try it.
Yep. Nice.
I'd still trust IKEA.
I hate that particle board shit.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you, particle board does not do well when flooded.
I can see that.
Who would have
All
thought?
of our furniture from the flood got chucked because it was all
Mhm.
particle board. It's just all rotted and turned into butter and just melted. Yeah. Do your visors have thoughts on filming mechanics work? I mean, I don't think we really discussed that in particular, but I don't think they would have an issue with that. I don't know why there would be an issue with that.
Yeah.
I think there's probably two things that need to be
Like-
filmed at no cost to the person requesting the work. If you can clean the intake manifolds of a 458, I think that's totally worth filming for free. And
Yeah.
you guys can also become the expert in Julia Quadrifoglio belt services.
Oh,
Really, tons out there to do. So
do those have timing belts?
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. What's the service interval?
October for me.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right.
Well, talk to Randy. I bet he's willing to give it a shot. You know, like
Dan, you did say get in now.
Yep.
yeah.
It's time to Greg's getting in line.
I'm not going to commit the alpha to service right now. Who knows if it'll be here by October? I don't know.
That's true. That's true, right? Kick that can on someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Nice.
We still need a barbecue running that, Greg.
I've been to Leroy and Lewis in it now, and it was great at it. So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, after F1 on Sunday.
Get an extended finger pointer and just walk around pointing at things.
No, please don't do that.
That'd be hilarious.
I
What
hate
is
those
that?
videos.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes.
Oh no.
They tap on the screen like, oh my God. Fuck that shit.
Oh God. I'm out of the loop.
Yep.
Oh, I am going to I signed up for 2 YouTube training session things.
Yeah.
I guess because now my channel's over 100,000, I get invited to these things.
Cool.
There's actually a training session in Austin at the Google headquarters downtown next week.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm gonna go to that. I was like, you know what? I might as well. It's free. Let's see what it's about. And then I actually signed up for another one that's in Los Angeles at the end of the month.
Cool.
So I was like, you know what? I might as well like try this out. And if they suck, I won't do it again.
Did they give an outline of what the course will be? Or what
Kind
it'll
of,
be?
yeah. So like I'm more interested in the one in Los Angeles because it's all about like how to promote products within your videos and that sort of stuff. And doing that effectively using their shopping systems, which admittedly I don't probably utilize very well. The one in Austin, I have a feeling is gonna be one of those where I'm gonna sit through like the first session or two and then probably walk out because like it was more catered towards like sponsor kind of content, whatever shit, and I'm just not really into that like as much. So we'll
It'd be
see.
good to hear, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's you know, and if nothing else, my thought was just meeting other people and schmoozing with other YouTubers probably is honestly more value than the actual content of the conference.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping is like, hey, you're another YouTuber that's in Austin. Oh shit, maybe we can collaborate or whatever.
That's funny shit. It's secretly a timeshare meeting.
I was about to say the same thing. They're
Oh,
gonna try to tell you.
you realize it's so much worse than that because YouTube's like, yeah, go make more content because you make us more money.
Yeah. We take 30%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a very interesting message when you're like, well, we're not going to pay you enough by making the videos on our platform, so we're going to teach you how to sell other people's products on our platform, so we don't have to pay you.
It's really kind of messed up when you start looking at it that way, right?
And they take a little cut of that, I'm sure, if it goes through
Oh,
the
yeah.
platform.
They do.
They do. Yeah. No, it's very interesting when you think about like how YouTube works and whatever. And you know, because the majority of YouTubers are not making a bunch of money. They're scraping by.
The vast
Majority of them. The overwhelming majority do not make a living off of the YouTube ad revenue, and probably not off the YouTube ad revenue combined with like sponsorship money. So yeah, it's not the panacea that everyone thinks it is. It's
Yeah. There's a short you need to make is all the YouTubers vlogging their experience.
I actually plan on bringing the camera for that purpose.
Yes.
I'm gonna be like, the reason is because I'm gonna be the only 40-something-year-old, and everyone's gonna be a bunch of children running around going, look at me. And I'm gonna be like, oh my god, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
I am too old for this.
If they let you eat at the cafe, though, you can just make all your money, just eat all their food.
This is a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that.
Google's good like that.
The hard part is it's probably gonna be offset by how much money it's gonna cost me to park downtown all day.
Yeah, no shit.
I've been debating, like, do I take an Uber? But it's probably about the same. Actually, from my house, no, it'd be way more expensive.
Well, park at the Howard and Uber from there.
That's not a terrible idea.
Tyler's girlfriend could probably let you park at her place down there too. I assume you've got one down there, right, Tyler?
So
Which one?
don't tell her that.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. What else? Yeah. All right, we talked about inventory, talked about current values, talked about the business, talked about sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, you
What
buy a car yet? You figure what you're looking for? What's your latest?
No, like I said a few weeks ago, there just hasn't been anything that really grabbed me just yet. I really need to feel that pull towards something, and unfortunately, there's not. And it sucks because values are like rising, as we've been talking about quite a bit on certain cars, and it's like I feel like I'm missing the boat. But then again, I'm not feeling like I need to run out and go buy something. It's not nothing's grabbing me. It's in my price range right now, so I'm just waiting on something to do that. And I actually am in a good place with that. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with that. Because I really got an itch scratched with that Ferrari and the whole deal. And then the way that ended, I don't know, there was like a really solid bit of closure to that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just haven't been ready to jump out. Something will come along and I'll get it. But as of right now,
I am empathizing with you, like saying, hey, since I sold the GT40, if I considered a personal car, and that's the weird thing is there's literally nothing right now that I'm looking at that I'm like, oh, I have to have this. I think I've got ruined because I got to own a lot of the dream cars I ever wanted. And the big problem is, like, if I look back at all the various cars I've owned, like there's a few that stick out of like ones that I'm like, oh, I would own that again. And one of them is a Scud, and I can't afford a Scud now. They're priced out of my abilities. So I
was even looking at V12 Ferraris the other night, just like, what do I need to start budgeting if I ever get one? I'm like, it's never gonna happen. It's okay. Like, even F12s are insane right now.
Oh, they've gone up for sure.
Like 812 they're running like 600. Like,
God.
Yeah,
an A12 coupe is running 600 grand.
I forget if it was Coupe or Spider on that
That's
one.
gotta be a GTS.
That's a GTS.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Coupes weren't much less if it was. I forget.
They're like 400.
Yeah, 350, 400 for a coupe.
Oh, they were higher than that.
Well, for low mile, high spec.
Yeah. I don't know. This was a month ago. I've put it out of my mind because can't afford it. Not worried about it.
Yeah. So you know what's in my garage right now is my lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it was really sad because I was sitting there and it was raining on my lawnmower, even though I have a cover on it. And I was like, I don't have a car in the garage. My lawnmower is like $5,000. I should put that in the garage. It's too expensive. So I did. I was just like, all right, I just parked it in the garage. I was like, screw it, man. I might as well at least keep the lawnmower nice until I get a car.
That's where mine is. I need to do the oil change on it. Speaking of,
I already did that. You got 8 hours already?
Yep.
Yeah, I already did that one. It's pretty easy to change on that thing.
That's good.
It takes all of like no time.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you have to put it on a ramp or anything, or
No.
you just undo it and let it go? Okay.
Just put a little. I think I put some under there to direct it because it like kind of spilled oil onto like a bit of the frame, but that's it.
Yep.
It's otherwise really easy. The oil filter is so cute. It's like this big, so kind, it's cute.
Yeah, a couple of people have mentioned the Amira to me. I that was always high on my list. I have a neighbor that's got one, and I see it all the time, and I really, really dig it. But then I'm running into the problem of like I'm in a fun road deficit here, a desert here.
Yeah.
There's nothing here to drive it on. And I know we've talked about this before, but so that limits my choices even more, and so I'm just not in a place to Just not yet. Something will come along.
Yeah, I mean, because the reality is, like, the cars that I'd want like a 430 or a 458 or whatever, and I get to drive them all the time at the dealership. So I don't see the point in really owning one of those cars right now. If I can find one that's like a wrecked piece of crap and rebuild it, I think that would be fun, and so that might pique my interest, just because. But here's the reality: is every time it's like Scott's old flood car. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna buy this because it'll be cool. I'll be able to rebuild it and have this super cheap 360 that I don't care about and whatever I can just have fun with. And then as soon as we show it, everyone's like, I want it. And you're like, shit.
Including me. Maybe I should buy that back.
Well, and like, it's like when you're in the business of making money selling cars, you have to detach yourself from the emotion of the car.
Yeah.
It's like, well, even though I want that for me, ultimately the goal is to make money for the business, so I need to do what's right for the business. So okay, I guess we're gonna sell the car. Speaking of the wreck Porsche, it's we're still waiting on a bunch of stuff, parts and whatever, so it hasn't really made any progress.
That could be a good one.
Did the title arrive, Dan?
Oh yeah, we got the title. Yes,
Good. All right.
thank you.
I was like, that 3RS could be a good one to keep if you end up liking it.
Yeah.
It's probably too expensive for what I would want to pay. That's the other problem, is I don't have a whole lot of money right now. It's all tied up in the business.
Yeah.
So, and there's a very real possibility that the business accidentally did better than I thought last year, and I might have a very, very, very large tax bill.
Whoops.
Yeah, I
Woohoo.
may have screwed up.
Yep. Gotta up those quarterly estimates.
Yeah. Well, this would be the first time that it's
So yeah, literally up them from 0.
yeah, because I usually didn't have that problem. Usually I overpaid and would get money back because it was like, oh well, there's not that much profit and you have so much money in write-offs that it just makes everything good.
Those barbecues, you never paid me that $100,000 for those.
No, yeah, that.
I like Travis's comment. It's time to buy art.
Yeah.
Time to buy art. Yeah.
Need some 6,000-pound Ferraris. You can get commercial vehicles.
I wonder if the pure Sangue is 6,000.
Ooh, it might be.
I'm sure the Luce will be.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll definitely be.
Lucha. Oh God. Even the name. Why? If I had bought a personal Speciale, would I sell it for today? Yeah, because it'd be worth too much. Just if I
John's
would've-
just
Like if I could have bought it back when I could have afforded one, I'd be up so high on it,
Oh,
damn
God.
thing.
Yeah.
I'd be up like threefold. Hell yeah. I'm gonna take a 3x return.
You can't be weak, Dan. Diamond hands. Got a hold.
Hold on.
Hold.
Hold on. That was a really awesome moment in history, by the way. Just the pure idiocy of all of that was just
Mhm.
wonderful. I'm so glad I didn't actually participate, but got to watch it from the sidelines. That was fun.
Part of me wishes I'd heard about it before, like it was already over.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Dude, my brother crushed it.
Did he?
Yeah, he got in early. But he sold way too early because he's like, I'm already up so much that this is gonna pay for like a big vacation and a bunch of other shit. He's like, screw it, I'm out. And it still went up so much more after that. But he's like, I don't care, man. I got a free vacation.
Yep.
So like, that's cool. Oh damn, you bought at 5 a share.
Good
You
job.
sold at 3 a share.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's absolutely the best way to slow roll that.
Yep.
Well, it's the the hardest part about telling a joke.
But
Timing.
Timing. Yeah.
Uh,
I
man.
like John's pressure on me to sell the car. He'll never know
Mhm.
how good it is. He'll never know.
Oh, we're still doing that.
Oh yeah.
My hands were not diamonds. Oh,
Your
man.
hands were soup.
Yeah.
Your hands were soft and buttery.
Full of fear.
No callus whatsoever.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's too funny. Oh man. Yeah, that's the hard part, is like that you knew was completely irrational. The whole thing was irrational, right? So it's like sticking it out is truly a weird experiment in humanity. Oh well. Anyway, that was amazing moment in history.
Yeah, it was.
Have you seen the movie about it?
Yeah.
They're
well,
great. There's a few different movies. They're all great.
What was the big one?
There's one with Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually loved his character. Like the opening scene where Pete Davidson is, door dashing but eating and drinking other people's food is so funny.
That was pretty good.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. 3 minutes. Give us your last questions. Then we're gonna wrap this up. The GT3. Oh wait, what color is that GT4 RS? We have a 3 RS, not a 4 RS.
I think it's the one that was it on consignment or you're going to inspect on them?
the one that we're going to inspect. I don't know. That one's up in Boston.
Although I will respond to this. Leveraging out to buy a GT4 RS in a car that's depreciating is not a good idea.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't leverage yourself on a depreciating asset.
Yeah, there's tons of GT4 RSs. There's tons of Spider RSs. And the new 7, whatever comes after 718, now that it's not going to be electric, who knows? That's going to maybe even make more cars to compete with it, to drive the price down even more. I would not pull a Greg and do that.
Don't pull it, Greg. It's just basic good advice across the board.
Absolutely. It is not financially prudent to do what is behind me.
I am not a financial advisor. Do not listen to me.
I am the opposite of a financial advisor.
Remember, Greg's the only person alive that's lost money on a Porsche. Or on a GT3, sorry.
Yeah.
Which Ferrari is most likely to appreciate and depreciate this year? Well, I mean, assuming you want 2 different Ferraris, one for each of those. I would say the most likely to appreciate is the SP3.
Yeah.
We've already seen the Speciales go up so much. I don't know if they're gonna go up that much more.
To the moon.
To the moon, diamond in. Hodl. Depreciate. I mean,
SF90.
296.
96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, now's the time to get on that Mondeo.
I mean, the problem with that car is it's cheap, but it's going to still be cheap.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of maintenance. So you have to keep sinking a ton of money to keep that thing just running. So
Listen.
it's not a good investment car.
Sounds like something a man with buttery hands would say.
Don't listen to me. I am not a financial advisor.
Too good.
I think, assuming the world doesn't go to complete hell, I think the V12 Ferraris, F12 and after, and the turbo V8s are next to go up.
The 48s are already going up.
Yeah, I think they'll just keep going up.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm already up on my car, so
Yeah, you've got to be. You've got
You got to
to
sell buttery.
You're such a good spec.
Got to sell buttery hands. Get rid of it. Dump it.
Oh yeah, it's paper hands. I forgot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Paper
Oh,
hands.
whatever.
Buttery's
different
just
boomers.
funnier.
I like
Yeah.
buttery better. I think it's. Oh yeah. Well, it's 9:30. Thank you everyone for joining us for another round of stupidity. I'm glad you all stuck it out. Another video coming out Saturday. I'm trying to produce 3 videos a week right now. I'm trying to get back to that as going forward. I don't think I'll guarantee that because it is a ton of work to produce all these videos. But anyway, stay tuned for lots of stuff. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next
Bye.
time.
Not everybody.